Hello everybody, I'm Alxprit, your resident buggo, here to commentate for the second games. Today we will be doing Luge. As a matter of fact, it is specifically VR Luge from PlayStation VR Worlds, something I didn't even know existed until today. Each Luger will have a single attempt to get as far as possible along a series of 4 luge tracks throughout the city, dodging obstacles along the way as a timer ticks down the time remaining in their run. So it's basically arcade style. You gotta get there quickly, you gotta get checkpoints, and you gotta add to your time before you run out of time. You gotta avoid traffic too, but you can also gain speed by being behind traffic. So it's a risk-reward situation up in here. There are 4 tracks in total: Devil's Dash, Danger Pass, Construction Dash, and Midnight Falls. The loser that reaches the end of Midnight Falls in the shortest amount of time, or who makes the furthest before time runs out, is the winner. We have our participants ready to go: Dave of Tierra de los Hermanos Hook, Lindsay of Daisy Baby Bitch Territory, John of Youbetchastan, and Sarah of Imperium Ludum. So let's go ahead and see what we're doing. Of course, Dave will be starting us off. Alright, so here we go for our first run of the day here. Now, I don't know about you, but this is a highly action-packed and maybe somewhat disorienting situation, but that's kind of what VR is all about, isn't it? This doesn't feel like it's 111 miles per hour. Oh, there we go. That was a slick dodge there. That too. You really don't have much time to get out of the way of cars while also getting that speed boost. Apparently traffic cones are no problem for our participant here. Now, take a look around you too, because not only do we have our exciting sport going on here, we also have some delightful, landmarks and things to participate in around here. Oh! Logs are also not a problem, so that's great. And we have here the hot air balloons of good luck. I believe they will be showing up for everyone, but I could be wrong. Ooh, that was close. You could see the silhouette appear there, too. Ah, yes, the classic under-the-car movements. Everybody's favorite in this sport. Now, I'm fairly impressed with the scenery around here. I wanted to take a look at some of those billboards. Obviously, they were advertising some of our future events, but we do have our results here at the very least. Dave was able to reach his section's end in 47 seconds and 88 hundredths of a second. So that's, I don't really have anything to compare it to, but it seems pretty good to me. How about we go ahead and move on with Lindsay's run next? Now the real balloon of good luck is that one over there, with the monkey suspiciously similar to Diddy Kong there. Now, we can see here that Lindsay is a little more uneasy than Dave was. Seems to be getting into the swing of the situation here. Those green flames mark the checkpoints that were noted earlier. So let's just see how she takes these turns here. Now, in real life, this is probably a pretty dangerous sport to be doing around real incoming traffic that doesn't really know you're there, but that's why we have VR to take away the problems of such a thing. And thank goodness, too, otherwise we'd be having lots of terrible, terrible accidents. And we don't want that. Oh, careful there. Apparently you lose speed if a car is going towards you. Oh, and that was a bit of a nasty back and forth ping pong there. Careful now. I see that now that Dave has demonstrated the technique, everybody else will be doing their best to copy it. That's okay. We are playing on PlayStation after all, the kings of copying the better ideas. Don't tell anybody I said that. And there's our finishing line, now that I actually know what it is. So at the end here, we do have Lindsay with a lower time than Dave with 44 seconds and 9/100ths of a second. Always room for improvement, of course, but we won't disparage it too much. We still have more runs to watch. So let's go ahead and move on over to John's. I see the speed getting up here. Gotta be careful though. Even though it seems like every track is pretty predictable in its traffic layout, you never know what might unexpectedly happen. Like being a little too close to the edge there for comfort. If it were me playing the game, I would definitely be freaking the heck out. Now I do have to wonder... Oh, that was a full stop there. Not great. Not great. But I do have to wonder if this was modeled after any real-life area, or if it just was created from nothing. You gotta hand it to the modelers out there who know how to create these environments, and they know how to make all the shortcuts work, too, so that the stuff that you don't see isn't really worried about either. Take a nice, good whiff of that sawdust, and let's keep rolling. So that looked like direct contact with that vehicle, but it seemed to not actually stop, just slow him down. Maybe he was lucky enough to be able to get underneath it. I'll have to keep an eye out for more of that. I do feel like, oh, jeez. Oh, get back on the track, sir. You got that. You got it. Good job. Good job. Yeah, no. Looks like they aren't real collisions, just speed-lowering ones. But that's all good. John's time remaining was 39 seconds and 40/100ths. So we've been steadily decreasing as time goes on. We'll see how we do with our final run of this first stage with Sarah. It's unfortunate that there is no second model for a female player, but I'm sure that a female could get in this gear and it would look no different regardless, so we won't deride them too much for it. Let's see, Sarah's probably had the benefit of being able to watch all other people play before her and see how to possibly improve her times here. But we'll see how that pays off in practice, because it's one thing observing, it's another thing executing. It seemed like a pretty swift checkpoint to me, though, so I'm thinking we might have a pretty good run on our hands here. Alright, nothing too bad so far. Seems to be avoiding collisions, using the classic trick there, although it did end a little roughly at the little back there. Looks like they collided with a wheel on their way out, which kind of did make that, unfortunately, a little less good. Alright, careful around the bend here. We're almost there. Looking like it's going to be pretty good, though. Alright, so we actually managed to get a better time than Dave that time, with 48 seconds and 23/100ths remaining. Good on them. As a reminder, we had around 48 seconds rounded with Dave, 44 with Lindsay, and 40 with John. Or actually more closer to 39, wouldn't it? We are all set with that stage, so now we're going to get to see a new stage with Danger Pass. Of course, Dave will be starting us off as he did before, so let's get started with that. Alright everybody, welcome to the new track, Danger Pass. It's probably dangerous because it's nighttime outside, so that probably doesn't help, but... Whoa! That's certainly a lot more traffic. Looks like there was a little traffic jam there, so we had to turn to avoid that. Probably intended strategy, though. The interplay of different tracks there is interesting, though. I wonder if that's actually a way someone could go if they were ballsy enough. Alright. We'll see how Dave has solidified his skills from the first run here and tried to make a little better time for himself here. It's possible that he was able to learn something from everyone else's adaptations and improvements, in Sarah's case, of his run. That was a bit of a rough ping-pong there, at least. And don't you just love saying ping-pong? It's an excellent describer for many things. So it does seem like the main danger in Danger Pass here is the traffic. There's not too much else in other gimmicks here. It's just the cars and the trucks and what have you. You don't have to worry about sawdust or traffic cones that didn't matter or logs that didn't matter. But I guess that means it's just consolidating everything, ain't it? It's like we're here at the end. Whoa! That's a surprising end for everybody there. Dave was able to reach the end of that zone with 29 seconds, 39 hundredths. We'll see how that compares with everyone else. As we said before, really no way to know if that's good or bad until everybody else goes for it. So let's just go ahead and get to the next run. Lindsay's. Let's see. Starting out here. We do still have our wiggliness from last time. Maybe she just likes it, though. We all know Lindsay here. Little wiggliness never hurt nobody. So this road does look pretty unfinished with regards to the, whoa. No, careful. We don't want the triple ping pong. That's even worse. Now I have to ask, lugers that do this sport, for realsies, without the aid of VR, do they prefer unfinished roads? Is that the thing that they're all about? Or do they actually make their own tracks, perhaps? We'll have to do that research some other time, I think. Ooh, that was a rough dismount there, unfortunately. But it's okay, we've got the balloons of good luck here, so everybody will be fine. No actual injuries in the course of this, because this is virtual reality. Our luger avatar here is not going to complain too much about his lot in life. That's pretty good swoop there. At least it's nice and bright in the tunnels. I'm sure this would look even better on the actual machine compared to the YouTube video here. Well, there we go. Lindsay was able to get a time of 26 seconds, 55 hundredths remaining, so that puts her below Dave in the standings once more. That doesn't mean anything just yet. We gotta check out the rest of the run still. So, John, you're up next. Give us a good show, why don't you? Alright, steady as she goes. Let's give it a shot here. The increasing speed there doesn't seem perfectly in line with real life, but I'm willing to forgive it. Unfortunately it looks like going under a oncoming car is not going to increase your speed. But it will prevent you from gaining a little speed too, so all in all, just not a good idea to deal with oncoming cars at all. A little bit of a collision there as well. I will say, wipeouts, probably we're expecting a little more of them, but it's unfortunate that we're not seeing them. But that's just how the game was made. I'd like to remind the viewers watching at home today, if you have not hydrated yet, probably a good idea to do so. They say that wine is the water of life, but I believe that water is indeed the water of life. That was an interesting strategy there, going to the side for a bunch of cars there, trying to sneak into the main track afterwards. See how that pays off. Again, going under an oncoming car will not help. And that's what you want. Can't get two of them, though. That one was a little low to the ground, unfortunately. Alright, we're coming up on the end here. Looks like we're going to end with a time of 16 seconds and 33 hundredths, putting him squarely in last here. I won't say whether that's good or bad. I have to remain unbiased for now. Alright, why don't we just go ahead and finish our last run of Danger Pass here with Sarah. Sarah's our real competitor here. She and Dave have been vying for first and second here, so we'll see how that hops up. Perhaps Dave can make an improvement on his placing, or perhaps Sarah will remain with her lead here. Now that's a fascinating matchup here. If I was a betting man, I wouldn't say that those two were the ones that would be going at it, but it only makes it all the more interesting. Now, I'm also not aware of any of the racers here having any prior experience with VR Luge. I would be very interested to know if any of them have been able to play this in the past, but considering it's VR, it does seem a little unlikely that a lot of practice was able to be gotten in, at least scheduled practice beforehand. They would all probably have to be borrowing headsets in certain areas or such. Of course, you could always practice in real life, but probably wouldn't go so well. Time is looking good so far. At the very least, Sarah knows not to go into oncoming high cars, at least. Oh, there was a bit of a snag there, but we're almost at the end. Alright, she made it to the end with 32 seconds and 48 hundredths, putting her in the lead once again for this run. Down below her is Dave with 29.39, Lindsay with 26.55, and John with 16.33. So, basically, they hit the exact same thresholds as they did in the first run. You can't blame them for being consistent. We'll see if that consistency holds up as they head for the next stage, Construction Dash, which I feel like they've already been doing a lot of. Alright, and as usual, our first runner here is Dave, and Construction Run, which starts with not even 1 minute on the timer. So that either means it's going to be over quickly, or it's going to be over quickly, if you know what I mean. So as well as the top runners have been doing so far, there hasn't been a run yet that has had, like, no mistakes. So it makes me curious exactly what a perfect run would look like. Maybe we'll see one later, who knows? Now let's not throw too many stones here, but it does seem like the various stages overlap with each other a bit. Oh! Now that's a tricky situation to get past. I'm sure the other runners will be glad to have been exposed to that. Yes, it does look like assets are shared between stages, but you know what? They add their own difficulty in their own ways. We can't be too mad. I certainly won't be. Alright, the run has picked up some smoothness here. We got another checkpoint coming up. Let's see what we can end up with near the end, which I imagine is coming up pretty soon. Alright. Just kissed the wall there without losing speed and without hitting that car. That was excellent. And that truck was dropping tires on the ground, looks like. Interesting. Well, we finished our run here. Dave managed a remaining time of 15 seconds and 1200ths. Pretty even there, which means it's pretty close. If that's a good time, as we have been led to believe in the past, that only means that this stage does not have a lot of wiggle room, so we might even be starting to see some failures coming up here, depending on how well the other runners do. But let's not jump to conclusions, let's just go ahead and watch Lindsay's run here. Alright, the monkeys are watching from afar. That's how you know we're in a good position to enjoy some luge. Alright, some good reaction dodges from the beginning there. It doesn't seem like that impacted her speed too much, colliding with the swinging... I don't even know what that was holding, really. Kind of looked like giant pool noodles, but that can't be right. Maybe it's those metal tubes that are needed for construction, which would make sense. Ooh, that was a little bit of a rough collision there. It was close to good, but they just couldn't quite make the middle of it. Ooh, and you're getting some air here, too. I didn't know that was legal. I'm sure a proper technique there would be to swiftly get behind that truck before getting onto the main track here, but it does seem like you do not have a lot of time to make that happen. Alright, I believe that's our final checkpoint before the end here. Whoa, careful. It's definitely getting trickier with execution. Cars right behind speed trucks. Requesting some very, very slick reaction time. Oh, bad ping pong at the end there. But we have made it to the end, so that is good at least. That gives Lindsay a time remaining of 7 seconds and 1200ths, sharing the hundredths with Dave, but not sharing much else, if you know what I mean. Let's go ahead and watch John's run while we ruminate on that. The steady difficulty increase of the tracks here has definitely been fascinating. As someone who watches a lot of video games, not so much games like this, but, you know, just games in general, all across the broad spectrum, I'm always looking out for difficulty adjustments, you know? I like to see what's going on with subtle changes as things get harder, if it's seeming unfair or if it seems properly put in its place here. And from what I can tell, VR Luge is a fairly subtly increasing change here. And that car was swerving like mad, so I don't know what was going on there. I feel like we didn't see those on the previous runs, but I could be wrong. It doesn't seem like the rough terrain here on that track is of any detriment to the speed that John was receiving there. If anything, it was helping just because it was downhill. Alright, once again, we do not want to be going into oncoming cars. Alright, we're almost at the end of the track. Can we make it? We don't have much time left. Oh no! Poor John was not able to make that end of that run. First time to see that. We don't want to see that. But we'll see what happens next with Sarah's run. Alright, let's see how Sarah does. Our first place rather, competitor so far. But this has been a tough track as we've seen so far. And I can only imagine how much tougher it's going to get when we reach the final track. Might be seeing multiple unfinished runs in that rate, but hopefully it won't be quite that bad. Seems smooth so far, though, at least. Yeah. You gotta respect the work that the workers are putting in here, too. Whoa. Ah, that wasn't so good, unfortunately. With the swerving of that car there, it is a little hard to predict how things are gonna go there. And the wheels on this luge board must be super oiled up and ready to go for something like that. Alright, looking like we're passing our final checkpoint here. I think things look good here for an actual finish, but all we can really hope for is to see something near the end here to pull out some good time. There it is, coming into view now. I think the tiles from that truck are not really impactful at all. That's okay. So looks like Sarah finished with a very, very minute improvement over Dave's time with 15 seconds, 39 hundredths. Once again, Dave had 15 seconds, 12 hundredths. Lindsay with 7, 12, and John did not finish. There's only one stage left for everybody to observe here, and it's looking like it's going to be a tough one. So buckle up, since we're all allowed to do that while they aren't, and let's go ahead and head for Midnight Falls and see how Dave does. Seems like it's a similar start to the last stage, just at night time. Eagle-eyed viewers will notice that we passed the Shark of Good Luck at the beginning of this one on the top left, but that was some seconds ago already. And I'm only just noticing now that we had barely any starting time here, so let's do our best to keep it positive as we roll through these checkpoints. It's never too late for an upset. Oop! Watch out for falling rocks. Ho, ho, ho. The classic traffic cone situation. Oop, oop, oop. That was not so great. And now the other racers will know what to avoid coming up here. Nice air there. I guess that's more legal than I thought. See, the balloons are all lit up and pretty tonight. Very much enjoy that feeling. Nope, don't ping pong too much. We still got a race to finish here. Can't be too much longer from here, right? Was almost a good speed boost there, but we had a collision right at the last second. There's a good truck movement there. Tiny collision on the way through, and unfortunately Dave was not able to actually finish his run there. If even Dave isn't finishing, I have a bad feeling about everybody else, but we'll see how we do there. Let's go ahead and check out Lindsay's run. Alright, Lindsay, good luck. The shark believes in you, and so do I. Again, our resident wiggly motion at the beginning here. So I'm not sure if getting a collision just lowers your speed or if it actually, like, gets your timer down, too. It's interesting to think about. Whoa! Alright. Well, at least that wasn't a overall negative passing under that truck. I can only imagine those rocks wouldn't be good to hit, unlike all the other fake obstacles you've been dealing with up to this point. Alright, keep it up. Keep it up. You're doing good so far. That's sick air. I imagine that must feel very disorienting when you're actually in the situation with the headset. We can all appreciate its sickness from a distance. Oh, was that? Oh, wow. Lindsay hit the checkpoint at the end there, but it was a little too late for it to matter, unfortunately. She has a do not finish as well, but Dave is ahead of her in the do not finish rankings at the very least, so he's got that going for him. Since John wasn't able to finish his last run, he will not be participating in the final run here, so we only have Sarah to worry about now. So let's see how she does. Alright. Our current leader here, it does seem like the remaining time from the last levels does add to the factor of what you start with in these, which I'm only now noticing, but I actually noticed it, so you can't fault me too much for that. Alright, good drift there. Keep it up. Whoa! That was a bit of a rough ping pong there. Not the kind of performance you want to see on this final run here. A bit of a collision there, nullifying the boost that we were about to acquire. Time is still looking decent though as we head on through. Bit of an air collision there. That would have been cool to see if it wasn't fake. Alright, looks like she's gonna hit the checkpoint with just a few seconds to spare. Let's see if it's enough to actually get her to the finish line. I feel like we're getting a bit of deja vu here. No, not quite. So, yeah, it's looking like Sarah, despite her earlier showings there, was not able to actually get quite as far as Dave did on his run on that level. So it does look like we have Dave in the lead now. Congratulations to Dave for taking away the gold on this run here. Major upset, I gotta say. But that made it a very interesting event to watch. Very stressful, very action-packed, awesome stuff. Congratulations to the other competitors. We can't forget Sarah does walk away with that silver, and Lindsay is able to grab that bronze as well. So our final medal count here, we have Tierra de los Hermanos Hook with 2 golds, Imperium Ludum with a silver and a bronze, Youbetchastan with a silver, and Daisy Baby Bitch Territory with a bronze. Peter and Dave are sharing a gold medal for their own squad there. Sarah was able to get both medals in this run and the previous run. And John was able to keep his medal from before, and Lindsay got her first medal today. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I've been Alxprit. If you've enjoyed the sound of my sultry voice, be sure to check me out on Twitch over the summer, where I do some fun streams. And also be sure to check out the rest of the games. We've got short track speed skating coming up, so hope you're all looking forward to that. Till next time, see y'all later!